But I'm I'm gonna bring up a couple of things here. I want to just out here riding, bike riding, um, and I figured I'd come on here and talk to you guys if possible. I don't know if this is going to work doing it live the way I normally do it, but we're going to see. So I'll see if comments or anything like that pop up, and we'll make it happen from there if it works. But bear with me. What am I doing here? I just want to make sure I'm putting everything in the way I normally do. I don't see anything. There we go. Okay, yeah, so it is working. Easy. RA, let me know if you can hear me. I'm just trying this out on the go. This is one of those lives you do. I'm out here bike riding, as you can probably tell by the goofy helmet. But I took a break after riding a few miles. Figured I'd come in here and holler at you folks about some stuff I heard. Okay, Easy Ezra. Is that Ezra? Is it Easy? I don't Easy Ra. I mean, there's a lot of ways that could go. But almost here in a second. Give me a minute and I'll start chatting with you folks. I'm out here out and about, as you can see, nothing but clear skies behind me. And we're gonna have a conversation. So that's what I'm gonna do. What does that say? Docidio, hey Tim, what say you? You'll know in a minute. I like it. I like the way you're addressing it. I appreciate that. I'm just getting my other, issue. We're not going to be on a bunch of platforms today. Just a little bit more of a intimate afternoon with the handsome liberal, if you will. I am on YouTube and TikTok. So better yet, an intimate afternoon with the handsome liberal. So how you folks doing? I'm riding and I'm listening to Meet the Press. I'm a genuine nerd. So while I'm riding my bike, I'm tuned in to Meet the Press. I don't already seen this week with George Stephanopoulos, even though he didn't host it today, but I already seen the other Sunday show. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm out here riding. Got a few miles to go. I got these little Bluetooth speakers. This isn't the one I'm using, but this is another one. It goes on the handlebars or whatever. And, I'm like, as opposed to listening to some music, I'm going to go ahead and bring up Meet the Press. Marco Rubio on the world stage, they pretty much telling our NATO member allies, our NATO member states, to get out of the tradition of depending on the United States. Now, some may view that as good, some may view that as bad, telling our NATO member nations to no longer depend on the United States. I guess first thing, and thank you for the hat mustache there, James Harper, I believe, and Travelman, that's who it was. Thank you. And James, it was Travelman. But first things first, do you think it is better for the United States if we get the NATO member nations to stop depending on us? Now, financially, I understand where you're going to go with it, but understand if they stop depending on us, that also means we are no longer in the lead anymore. We are the dominant force in NATO. We are the leader of NATO. But if we all of a sudden take the direction that President Trump is suggesting, that's likely not to continue. So, do you think that America would be better off if, we ended up, I suppose, as an equal player in NATO as opposed to the leader? What does that says? Willie survive something. He says, you're a clown. I appreciate the input, Willie. I mean, that doesn't say shit. If you want to specify why I'm a clown, I'll certainly entertain it. Hell, you might be fucking right. But just typing you're a clown is a clownish thing to do. Doesn't say shit. I'm going to leave it open for you. Take your time. I'm sure you made it to at least third grade. Type in some legitimate shit. Learn how to insult a motherfucker. I'm here for you. I'm really here for you. We don't block, ban, or censor any goddamn thing. So you got the whole goddamn stage. You walked out, said hi, and went back behind the curtain. That's not a show. Type something entertaining, goddammit. Anyway, so what I'm asking you folks is, America taking a back seat, not being the dominant player on the world stage. Let me take off the goofy helmet. Wow, it's got all kinds of marks and shit on my head. But I don't know. Do you think we'd be better off if everybody in NATO becomes equal? Would that be better off for America? In the comments right off the bat, somebody says, we're all allies as a big family. If your brother falls, you protect and defend that brother. True, but what if you are much bigger, much stronger than your little brother, and you guys get into a bar fight? Do you expect the same from your smaller, weaker brother as you do from yourself? Let's say you're fucking big as I am, 6'6", 300, and your brother looks like Danny DeVito. Do you expect him to fight? I mean, you want him to put up his dukes, as they used to say back in the day, but do you expect the same amount of output from him as it would be from you? Because that is what we're suggesting with NATO member nations, is that they should put out the same amount of output as America. Now, understandably, some folks are going to say, hell yeah, we expect that. But I guess I would have to follow up by saying this then. If everybody's expected to have an equal output, then how the hell does America get to lead? You're not doing any more than anybody else at that point. So how the hell do you expect to continue being a leader of NATO when you ain't doing a damn thing more than I'm doing? So that's what I'm saying. Should we now take a back seat and literally become an equal as opposed to a superior? Because right now we're considered as a superior among our allies. And I believe that is dwindling under the Trump administration. The Chancellor of Germany, what did he refer to it as? The traditional world order, or something like that, is being destroyed. And he actually cited America. He cited America. And amongst polls in Europe, a lot of the citizens of the UK, France, Germany, obviously Greenland and Denmark, they don't view us as a trustworthy nation anymore. Do you think it's beneficial for the Trump administration? Do you think the Trump administration is doing us a solid, whereas people are suggesting they don't trust us anymore? I want to discuss that, and I'm going to go to none other than Mr. Greenland himself. Good evening, or better yet, good afternoon, Mr. Greenland.
How do you do?
I'm doing good. Now, I'm watching one of our Sunday shows here not long ago, and they cover politics and what's going on. And on that show, they're suggesting that folks like you in your country of Greenland, you no longer view us as a trustworthy nation. Is there any validity to that?
Yes. Any politician who really has chance to be part of parliament do not trust America anymore. But we know we need America as a business partner.
And so if you need us as a business partner, because do you feel confident we will remain a legitimate business partner?
Business is different than national politics. America is great at business, but you are terrible at politics.
Did you feel that way a few years ago, or is this just specifically under Trump?
No, it's always been like that.
So in other words, our relationship with you folks hasn't gotten any worse from Trump. It's pretty much the same as it's always been.
Not really. We don't have any really big business with America now. We are trying to make it happen. So we and US can have a better future, but right now it seems it's getting worse.
You believe it's getting worse since Trump has got in office, or do you believe it was just naturally getting worse? Trump has nothing to do with any of this, right?
Now, Trump is mainly because of Trump relationship with America. It has been broken forever.
Forever? Forever, ever?
It's
Wait a minute. You're telling me if we get in, let me ask you to you this way. What did you guys think of President Biden, his predecessor?
you mean Trump?
No, no, no. I'm asking you, your country, the nation of
Yeah.
Greenland, Denmark. What did you folks think of our last president, Joseph Biden?
Oh, he was great. He was trustworthy. He kept to his word.
Mm. So you did trust Biden, but you don't trust Trump.
No,
Can we get that trust back?
I don't think so.
Even if let's say we got another Biden, a Biden type in there, because obviously we have a two-party system. We get somebody else in there that's like Biden, and maybe apologize to you. The trust is just gone, huh?
I think at least you need someone like AOC.
AOC, really? Why do you say that?
Because it's her who has the most progressive politics, and in Greenland, everything is progressive politics.
Oh, so you're saying because AOC is a progressive, so your country is very progressive, is what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah. AOC would not get elected in Greenland to be extreme right wing.
So I want to hear you from Greenland. What is your give me your example of what you mean when you say progressive, because it could mean something different to you folks than what it means to us. What do you mean when you say progressive?
Yeah, everything in school education is free. Government pays me to go to school.
Damn.
And even provide me food if I need it. And
where does the money come from to do all that? You know, in America, when you're talking about entitlements is what we call it, when the government is doing things for you, the first response is, well, who's paying for that? So where's the money coming from to do all this?
we all do. It's in Texas. So in our culture and even today, our politics is depending always helping our neighbor who needs help. That we would provide that help.
Now you have universal health care?
Yeah.
And they're paying for you to go to school. Let me ask you, what percentage are you taxed? Let's say you got a millionaire over there. How much of that millionaire's income, if you're making $1 million a year, just estimate. I understand there's different reasons for why you're taxed, deductions and things like that. But just speculating, if a person makes $1 million per year in your currency, what percentage of that is going to go to the government in the form of taxes?
In total, it's about 43 or 44%.
Wow. That's actually not, well, I was going to say it's not bad, but in America, the working class pays about 30%, but if you become a millionaire, you can pay a lot less than that. So yeah, 43% for millionaires in America would probably be pretty high, which is maybe why we can't do all that stuff.
Yeah, but in America, you have property taxes, road taxes, so many different taxes. In Greenland, it's simple. It's one tax.
So you don't pay property tax. Do you pay taxes when you purchase like groceries and stuff?
Yeah, but it's not taxed.
There's no, what do they call it, a GST or something? You don't have that?
No.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, some products are a little bit more expensive, so the government is trying to take a little bit more money. But cigarette products or alcohol or cigarettes, they make it more expensive than it should be.
And in the comments, John says we're not taxed on food either. And yeah, if you go buy a gallon of milk and it costs $1.99, you're not going to walk out of there paying $1.99 for it. When you get to the register, it's going to come to more than $1.99. It's going to say plus tax. So you do pay taxes on food in America. Now, as you know, I often bring up that I used to live in Australia. It's exactly like what you're talking about, Denmark, Greenland rather. When you go to the register, whatever it said on the shelf, that's what you pay. They don't have an extra tax when you go to the So now somebody in the comments said some states don't tax food. What about cars? What if you buy an automobile, Mr. Greenland? Is there a tax on that?
Yeah, if you own a car, there's a road tax to maintain the road, but it depends on how heavy it is.
What about just a regular, family car, sedan or a coupe?
Yeah, if you buy it, there's some taxes when you buy it. Is also to give Greenland. Nobody should own too many cars because we have no roads from town to town, and some towns like our capital have too many cars.
Yeah. Real quick in the comments, because I saw somebody made a comment about the wind. Can you guys hear me? Obviously, you can, Mr. Greenland, but can you guys in the comments hear me? Because I do see people saying get out of the wind, so I may have to, if it's too windy, ain't shit I can do. I may have to just stop the live, but I see folks saying get out of the wind. Well, if it's too windy, yeah, everybody said it's windy. I mean, if it is, I'll do what I got to do, but I don't have any way of stopping it. I came out here and just kind of doing this impromptu, and I'm out here. I would show you the background, but I got all these devices. But yeah, there's no way I can stop the wind. But you guys are saying you hear me though. Okay, so I'm just. So do you guys feel more confident now, Mr. Greenland, that America's not going to try to take your country?
Yeah, we have been negotiating with the rest of the world, and it seems like the rest of the world are willing and want to help Greenland. And it seems like if America somehow tried to take Greenland, America will lose the access for the all military bases you have around the world.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe that if we do try to, now I'm not saying we may. I don't know if America could take on the whole of NATO and win with dignity. With dignity. Now, I suppose if America went up against NATO, we could put up a hell of a fight. But when I say with dignity, I mean there's going to be a lot of casualties, and as you pointed out, we're going to lose influence all over the fucking place, which is not a good thing. And financially, we're going to lose a huge, bunch of trading partners. We would lose all those countries. I mean, it would be disastrous. So I don't see it being worth it to try to acquire your country and lose all that stuff.
Yeah, America will go bankrupt because the rest of the world owns your debt.
Yeah. I'm kind of wondering if we gonna fucking go bankrupt anyway. I mean, because right now we're in the we're over I guess in the Persian Gulf, heading over in that area. We're talking about potentially doing regime change in Iran as well. Let me ask it to you this way. Okay, so you don't feel we're coming in to take your country over, but being part of NATO, if we go to war, you do have a responsibility to aid us. What if we go to war and the war was not somebody invading us, but us invading them? Do you guys feel obligated to help us do that?
It's in Article 5. If one country gets attacked, it's one for all for one.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about being attacked. I'm talking about, let's say we are being attacked. Like, for instance, Russia was not attacked by the Ukraine. They attacked the Ukraine, but they still needed help from North Korea. They've received weapons from Iran. I'm talking about where we attack somebody and we ask for help. Would you guys feel obligated to help us out?
No, that's not obligated, but it's nice to help your neighbors or family or anyone who needs help. But we are not obligated if you ask for help.
Wow. Well, I mean, I suppose we wouldn't do it. I don't think President Trump is going to take on a nation that would be so challenging we would need help. I'm just asking from a standpoint of we may take on a smaller nation like yours and help may, all of a sudden all of these folks come in and help you, and now we need help. Because I think we expect that nation to just be an easy pushover, not because you guys got all sorts of NATO member nations that are putting troops on your island now, right?
Yeah, we have jet airplanes right now in Greenland. Just in
Airplane.
case.
Wow.
Yeah.
What nations?
Perfect. From Sweden.
Yeah, I heard the UK and Germany was even talking about putting soldiers or something over there. But you guys You guys feel safe now. I see in the comments somebody says Greenland is our 51st state. You guys, you sure you don't want to become a part of America? We are a wealthy country. You don't want to become part of America, you know?
Oh, I have a price for Americans to buy Greenland.
Which is
The price will be only native Greenlanders would be allowed to be American president for the rest of American existence.
so you let America purchase Greenland, but all of our presidents going forward must be from your country.
Yeah, native Inuit.
Native. Wow. That ain't gonna happen. That's not. I mean, that ain't. And I see somebody in the comments. Concerned citizen says win guess. He likes that. That is obviously not up for discussion. So it is what it is. Well, hopefully you guys remain safe and we don't do some shit that a lot of us in America don't favor either. I never favored taking over your nation. You guys have always been allied with the United States. You gave us access to your territory to protect the poles from anything coming from Russia or China. I never saw a reason to threaten to take your country over by force. So hopefully we remain friends, keep the back channels open, and survive what's going on now. Mr. Greenland, I do got to move it on, but let's remain on good terms, if you will.
Yeah, I'm not scared.
All right, Mr. Greenland, I appreciate that. Thanks for coming through. All right. I told you motherfuckers I ain't never scared. Anyway, tap the screen. We're doing this outside, but we're doing it live. You may have heard that before. We're doing it live. Anyway, we're outside. Tap the screen. Get the likes on up to 10K. If you're watching on YouTube, I know it's windy. Ain't shit I can do about that. I'm out here bike riding. You may have seen the live start off with my goofy helmet. I got the bike behind me. I'm gonna tilt everything, but I'm just out here, so I can't control the wind. There's nothing I can do about it. Happy Black History Month, says BCJ. Thank you for that. I'll tell you something before I go to the next caller. I haven't seen a void in discussing Black History Month at the national level like this in my entire life. Because there's nothing coming from the Trump administration. You remember Nancy Pelosi doing all kinds of goofy dances with Africans in garb and shit? I mean, listen, I'm not saying that Nancy Pelosi was going to put a bone in her nose and really celebrate the homeland somewhere, but at least showing some love. I mean, under the Trump administration, I told you guys last month, I am incredibly surprised at how unpopular from the right that Martin Luther King has gotten. I saw so many folks on his holiday saying that it shouldn't be a holiday. He ain't did shit for black people. Man, he's a terrible person. I mean, kind of in the sentiment of Charlie Kirk. I've never seen so many people hating on Martin Luther King like that. First time I've ever seen that in all my 50 plus years. I don't know what's made Dr. Martin Luther King in his era of rest become so unpopular. But man, has he become unpopular as of late. And then, of course, Black History Month is not even being discussed. Anyway, looking in the comments, that's why I'll never salute the USA. Wow. Well, let me ask you guys this. We got Independence Day coming up. You gonna celebrate our freedom? That's coming up, July 4th. I mean, listen, there's holidays to celebrate the independence and freedom of America. Are you feeling less free to make a statement like that? They just damn stupid, says Lindia. Well, I'm just telling you, I haven't seen so much hatred towards Martin Luther King in my entire life. It's crazy. It has gotten crazy. Well, black people of today have no clue of yesteryear. I'll go back to the box, and I want to say something real quick about that. I actually watched a Tyler Perry movie this morning. I'm not a big fan of Tyler Perry movies. I think they're pretty cheesy. I was a big fan of him when he used to do plays. I've seen every one of his plays live. Different cities, Houston, Chicago, places like that. I would travel to go see his gospel stage plays. Most of his movies, fairly cheesy, but he has a movie out right now on Netflix goes along the line of what we're talking about. I think it's pretty good, and it's exactly what you just said about the young whippersnappers not knowing Black history. Anyway, let me go back to the box. It's on Netflix if you wanna, if you're interested. I'll go straight to the box. James Harper. Yes, I used to love Tyler Perry play. His plays are the bomb. His plays are the bomb, or were the bomb. But the movie on Netflix is exactly. It's a young. It features a young African American kid, and he's hanging out with white guys, and they're like, "Look, it's all equal now," and all this shit. And he didn't know nothing about Black history. Really good. I thought it was laid out pretty well, and it's pretty damn funny. James Harper. Good evening.
What's going on, Tim?
Not much else. Somebody asked me what's the name of the movie. It's in the top 10 movies on Netflix. I can't remember the name of it, but it's in the top 10. Somebody else probably know. But go ahead. What do you, Uncle Joe's Road Trip? There you go, Joseph Saunders. It's called Uncle Joe's Road Trip. Thank you. So, Germany, when Marco Rubio, Germany is saying the international order is being, for the most part, disrupted. And he's citing the United States. What are we doing on the world stage, James? What's going on?
Well, the Trump regime basically is doing a 180 on like how American politics was. Like you see Trump more favoring Putin and North Korea and things like that. The more authoritative people, he's more favoring them and going against NATO, just like he did in his first term. Remember, he was completely rude to our allies in his first term and was starting to get buddy with Putin and Kim Jong-un and them.
Well,
he went back to doing that as soon as he got back in.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we could discuss the reason why. Real quick in the comments, Siamese Stormtrooper says, didn't Melania Trump exceed all expectations? What say you on a statement like that, James?
What expectations? Like, if you notice before her, all the previous like first ladies, they had some sort of like degree or education, and they were actually trying to do something. Melania Trump ain't trying to do shit for nobody. Like the one time she tried to do stuff for kids, we found out it was a plagiarism of the stuff that Michelle Obama was doing.
That's a good point you raised. I'm trying to figure out what is she known for. But then again, the pushback is going to be what is
you know what she's known for, but you don't want to say it.
I don't know what she known for. I don't know. But here's the pushback. What is Jill Biden or Michelle Obama known for?
Well, Jill Biden's a doctor, and Michelle Obama has multiple degrees, and she's actually like done programs to try to get children healthier food.
Yeah,
like to get kids to.
They tore that shit apart. They tore that when Michelle Obama was talking about that. Yeah, they tore that shit apart with Michelle Obama.
They wanted no parts of that because the first thing they tried to say when she was asking that is, "Well, how much is it going to cost, and do we have the money for it?"
Yeah, they did not. Yeah, they didn't like Michelle Obama talking about what kids should eat in school. Oddly enough, Kennedy is talking about it, and they suddenly favor it. Why is that?
Because it's a conservative person. Like the main people that were against Michelle doing it were conservatives. Now that you got somebody like Kennedy doing it, now it's a good thing. See, this is what we needed. No, we were saying this shit before. It's just you didn't like the messenger, and because of that, you were against the message.
Yeah, but I guess I'd have to ask. You said Kennedy is, unlike Michelle, Kennedy is a conservative. Is Kennedy really a conservative? I mean, is his views really conservative, or is it a matter of getting where you fit in? He tried to lead, because he was running for president of the United States on the left, and now he's in the conservative party. What kind of shit is that?
No, Kennedy's a grifter. It's just the fact that he's with the conservatives is why they like it.
Yeah.
Because remember, Kennedy considered himself like an outsider. Same thing that Trump considered himself as. But then once you get them in office, and they're doing the exact same shit, if not worse.
Well, like you said, MAGA is very happy. I am, like I say this all the time, particularly Black MAGA as well. They are very, very happy with the performance of President Trump. I'm still having people saying best president we've ever had.
That's because they feel like they can get in on a grift.
Get in on the grift? How? First of all, what is the grift? And how would MAGA, particularly Black MAGA, in what way do they feel like they can get in on it?
Okay, you see all these people who have struggling careers, all of a sudden they're pro MAGA. and then they're either selling a course or some kind of product. And what's the first thing that MAGA does? Comes in droves and supports them to own the libs.
So shit, so I need to just sell some MAGA shit and I'll be all right?
You got a guy that was making no kind of money selling the damn Bible, that all they had to do was get Trump's name on that Bible. All of a sudden, they were selling like hotcakes.
Well, he didn't just get Trump's name on the Bible. He got President Trump, I believe, to advertise the Bible itself too. So I mean, listen, you name, and if I could get Michelle Obama to advertise a product I'm selling, I would make money off of it. I mean, that's kind of how it works.
Okay, look at Kid Rock. Kid Rock's career was in the toilet. The only way he could get noticed was doing USO tours. Then he jumped with MAG, and all of a sudden they're willing to put him up as a headliner for shit.
Sound to me like you're saying MAGA are winners. Sound to me like you're saying if you know, no matter what you're doing, as long as you put your hands on the MAGA side of the aisle, it's like gold. Sound like you paint MAGA out as winners, James.
I'm painting MAGA as gullible.
Well, for the person like Kid Rock or some of these folks,
for them it's a winning ticket. That's why you got people like Anton Daniels jumping on the MAGA side, because they know, if I jump over here, these people are gonna gravitate to me and start giving me money and shit. And I'm gonna make money. But the average MAGA, no, they're losing. The only thing they're doing is cheering for their favorite team right now.
Now, you're saying the average MAGA is losing. Before I question you on that, because I certainly want to know how that is happening, Handsome Evil Finger says, Black MAGA is going to be their own downfall. Just watch and see. Just like the Epstein files, also Trump ain't shit. I don't have my keyboard from me, but do you see Black MAGA is going to be their own downfall? In what way? Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that.
In what way? As soon as they lose their value, like the reason why like MAGA was using them and putting a spotlight on them, once that value is done, they get tossed to the curve.
Wait a minute. Trump is known for being not only transactional, but rewarding those who look out for him. So you're telling me as much as Black MAGA, huh?
What reward did let's see, Tim Scott, Byron Daniels, Condoleezza Rice.
Was Condoleezza Rice? Wait. Was Condoleezza Rice repping MAGA?
No, I'm not Condoleezza. Okay. Omarosa.
Well, Omarosa got kicked out while she was actually on the actually in the administration, so she must have done. You're talking about from the first term. Now, Byron Donalds and Tim Scott have always been rolling with MAGA, so I think they would make a better topic to discuss on this. Now, Tim Scott's still a senator. He wouldn't be a senator if Trump said don't vote for him. So when you ask what has he gotten, he's gotten to keep his job.
He would have probably kept his job even if he didn't say that.
You think if Trump endorsed the candidate against Tim Scott, a black senator in a Republican state, Tim Scott would still maintain that job?
Not if he became an enemy, but if he didn't sit there and kiss Trump's ass like he's been doing, he probably would have still been all right.
I don't know. I think he would have to publicly endorse Trump, which is what he actually did, because he ran for president, and like the other 9 of them.
What did he do when he did that? He was one of the worst ones. Vivek even beat him, and that's saying something.
Well, the problem is the 9 candidates that ran against Trump, with the exception of probably Ron DeSantis and probably Chris Christie, all the rest of them were trying to run against a guy and say he's great at his job at the same time. That makes no sense. You're running against Trump, but you're telling everybody he's a great president and all. Then why the fuck you running? It made no sense. They're trying to run against him, but they're afraid to challenge him. Ron DeSantis and Chris Christie kind of did do that.
Well, see, the problem is they were running, but they were trying to get his base. That's what they were doing. They were trying to.
You ain't getting Trump's base from Trump. You ain't getting Trump's base from Trump unless he's dead. I mean, even the Marco Rubios, the J.D. Vances, you're not taking. There is no human being alive that could take Trump's base from MAGA. They could take MAGA from Trump. There's just nobody alive that could do that.
Yeah, you're right, because these are the same people who every time they put an image of Trump, they gotta do a Photoshop image of some muscular motherfucker who Trump has never looked like in his life,
What are you
and the
saying they
image
made?
of Trump, like the image that they have of Trump is not their reality.
So you're talking about like pictures of Trump, with muscles like Superman. Remember the NFT cards with lasers coming out the eyes? You're talking about shit like that?
Yes.
Well, look, there's a lot of love for the president. I see concerned citizen says MAGA needs to go. I don't think MAGA's going away anytime soon. I don't see that happening. But
MAGA, I don't say MAGA needs to go, but they don't need to be in power because they're more concerned about cultural issues than actual issues. And the only thing they have to say is, oh, if we didn't have these people or these people, like they used to claim about black people, is the victim mentality. Like
well,
every issue that MAGA has, they're pointing at another group saying, this is the reason why we're losing, this is the reason why we're losing, this is the reason why we're losing. And then in the process of them getting rid of all those issues, shit's getting worse and not getting better.
that depends on who you ask, James. I had a MAGA viewer tell me just earlier today that groceries are 20% less than they were in 2023 under Biden.
And we both know that's a lie. A Google search will prove to you that's a lie.
Well, I suppose it really depends on what part of the country you're in, but I got a lot of MAGA that say groceries have come down under Trump. Gas
Right.
prices?
They say a lot of things have come down under Trump, even though like before he got in office, things were already projected to go down. The only difference is when Trump started putting these tariffs in, we saw the effects immediately. He started throwing these tariffs around. People started losing faith in our markets, and they started buying less and selling stocks. So now you see all this stuff is starting to affect us.
I'm being told the tariffs are going to bring in billions, if not $1 trillion to America. President Trump says the tariffs are going to be great for the economy.
And those people swear up and down by listening to Trump, thinking that these other countries are going to actually pay for the tariffs. What ended up happening is we pretty much lost the beef industry because all our major buyers stopped buying from us and started buying from other people. Same thing with the soybeans. Like the products that we export a lot, they stopped getting sold as much because it was an equal trade value. Once you start throwing like extra tariffs on it, people were like, you know what? Instead of paying this, I'll just go to this other country that's selling the same thing you're selling, and I can get it for much cheaper. The same thing we would do if our favorite store decided they want to raise the price, and we can get it somewhere else.
Yeah, you encourage people to shop around when you're no longer offering them a deal. James, before I move on, and I see somebody in the comments says MAGAs are denser than a Thanksgiving shit. Wow. We everywhere support your local liberal. Thank you, handsome conservative. So, do you see any benefits from Trump's economy? I mean, you paint him in a pretty bad picture.
Trump's economy? No. If what's going to end up happening is there's going to be a crash. Like either it's going to be a housing crash because of all the fact that we're losing the materials and things like that because places like Canada doesn't want to go with us anymore, or things are just going to get worse. They talk about the stock market's doing good, but most of that is companies buying back their own stock to make their own stock look more valuable.
Yeah, and stocks are irrelevant to the average working American as well. I got to move it on, James. As I always, appreciate you coming through. Thank you.
No problem, Tim.
Anytime. All right, moving on real quick. We're out and about. I'm out here bike riding. Figured I'd come in here and talk to you folks. Certainly, I'm riding on the bike. You got the Bluetooth speakers, something like this. This isn't the one I'm using, but I got one on the handlebars of the bike. I'm listening to Meet the Press, and apparently we're not being viewed very favorably on the world stage. So I figured, I had to take a break anyway. Wanted to sip a little soda, talk some shit with my fine folks, particularly my beloved MAGA. And I guess I wanted to find out from you folks, put my ear to the ground, as they say, and find out from you folks, how do you view President Trump's handling of America's relationships internationally? Because the notion is under Biden, we weren't well respected, military was dilapidated, The world was laughing at us. Simply put, that's what you often hear President Trump state. The world was laughing at us. We got Trump in office now. He's in control of everything, all three branches of government. Do you feel that now that we have President Trump here, that on the world stage we are being more respected and I suppose viewed favorably? Now, the question is kind of challenging to ask because we got definitive proof, at least, that some of the nations like Germany and things like that are speaking. They're not speaking favorably of us. So, but I want to hear from you folks. How do you think is this what you voted for? Because I see in the comments, Major K24 does say that President Trump internationally, it's exactly what I voted for. Very bad laughing joke of the world, says Derek. Derek, wow. Damn, Unc, you even more chopped in public. Okay, we'll go with that. Google is like mainstream media showing you search curated results to fit. Well, this wasn't Google. This was on Meet the Press. So you can see the people talking. Marco Rubio went over there. You can actually see the people talking. This ain't from Google. By the way, tap the screen. I'm going to ask you folks, help your boy out. Share the live. Get the likes on up. Certainly on TikTok. We're out and about just wanted to talk to you folks, but tap the screen. Get the likes up. Monkey Room. They're not laughing at us. They're laughing at him. They like us. I don't know about that, Monkey. I hate to call you that, but that's your name, Monkey Mom, brother, not Monkey Room, Monkey Mom. I hope you're not African American. I hope not. I don't want you to end up in one of Trump's videos, but Monkey. And by the way, I I don't like blocking folks, but this one didn't give me no fucking choice, so we'll go ahead and take care of that right off the bat. But anyway. Moving on with the program, I don't know. I mean, we had an individual on from Greenland, first caller, and he suggested that the relationship we have with the world is being transformed in ways that we may not be able to revert back for quite a while. So I'll go to the box. We'll take the next caller. Let her hear your opinion on this. Travelman 98. Good afternoon. Welcome to the program. Now, you're military, right? Yeah.
Tim.
Yes. I can hear you.
When the last time you did a bike ride in Chicago in February with just a sweater on?
Not much. It's been a minute. Yeah, I mean, the weather's good.
Yeah, so okay, I'm ready for your question. What were you getting ready to ask me?
You're military, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you're out of the military. You're not in the military, so you're out of it, right?
Yeah, I'm retired.
Yeah. What do you think? You think he's leading us down a path of righteousness? International prowess. You think he's making us more respected on the world stage as he suggested? Because Biden was viewed as a weak leader, says President Trump, says MAGA. What say you?
He was only viewed as a weak leader by the two people you just mentioned.
President Trump.
Neither one of them have good standing with the rest of the world. Okay, and so I have been fortunate enough to have traveled to about 45 countries. And I've also talked with a lot of people from different countries because when I retired, I used to drive Uber up in DC. So every week, I would probably interact with people from about 35 to 40 countries every week, flying out of Dulles Airport or into Dulles Airport.
Mm-hmm.
The first time, the world kind of looked at it as a fluke, but then we re-elected him.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, you guys re-elected him. They are laughing at us. His speech at Davos was a disgrace.
And that's what I was going. I meant to say that to my last caller because the same thing. Now he claims that the international community does not. They don't like Trump, but they're okay with us. Now,
not anymore.
Yeah, and I was going to say that once we reelected him, we are him.
Yeah, not anymore. When we reelected him, it's the same thing like when W got elected, and then we reelected him. Then the world started looking at us a little differently, you know. He has basically dismantled the world order that we put together after World War II, that the world has been following for the last 80-some years. All right,
Yeah.
he has dismantled that.
Well,
And
I
he's
get.
going.
Well,
Go ahead.
I want you to elaborate on something you said about his speech at Davos because I think it says Yiper Man is saying his speech at Davos was the best. What is this guy on? What say you?
He's probably smoking some kind of special wacky weed or something. Okay, but it's a brother that lives in Switzerland. He's dual citizen. You probably heard of him. He's Hart. You probably heard of him. He's dual citizen. He was in the hall when the Mango Maniac was giving his speech,
Hmm.
and he came on here. He came on TikTok live on quite a few of them, and he said that some of the leaders were actually walking out of the hall
Wow.
while Trump was speaking.
Some of the other world leaders.
Some of the other leaders.
Now I'm gonna ask you the same thing. Go ahead. You got a little bit of.
No, go ahead.
I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked my first caller, Mr. Greenland. With world leaders walking out on President Trump, which is obviously a sign of disrespect, obviously a sign that we don't give a fuck what you're saying because we disagree. Can we repair that? Mr. Greenland is suggesting our relationship on the international stage is damaged permanently. Now, Mr. Greenland is obviously in Greenland. He's not an American. As an American yourself, can that be repaired?
It is going to take many years. It's going to take quite a few administrations, I believe, to repair the damage that's been done. Because it's like every day he attacks not only people in the U.S., but he attacks foreign leaders also if they don't agree with him.
Yeah.
So it's going to take us years. He has pulled us out of pretty much every treaty that we've ever been in. Okay, he slapped tariffs on all the other countries. And matter of fact, you know, I don't curse a lot on your show, Tim. He fucked up the tariffs so bad that he had to do a carve out for $1 trillion worth of $1 trillion carve out on the tariff that he did about a month or so ago. That's how fucked up it was. Now this asshole is trying to. He want to stop the opening of the new Ambassador Bridge.
Yeah, I heard. And Canada paid for that.
Now I've had the honor.
Yeah, thank you, it girl.
Working at the current Ambassador Bridge. All right. It's a truck bridge that comes across. It's privately owned, and the people that own it, the billionaires that own it, it makes them about $60 million a year. That thing goes 24 hours a day. That's
the one that's in existence now, right?
That's the one that exists.
Yeah, because the one that they're fighting over is going to really hurt that one.
Well, it's so much traffic, it's gonna hurt it, but shit, it's gonna hurt it even more with all this bullshit that Trump is doing.
Yeah,
you know.
I'm watching.
They paid for it.
Yeah.
They paid for it,
yeah.
They paid for it. They set up some kind of special thing, and now they want to manage it together. And the way they set it up was, okay, we're gonna pay for it, and therefore instead of us splitting the tolls 50-50, they're gonna take a little bit more of the tolls to pay for the part of it that they pay for that the U.S.
Which is only fair. Which is fair.
Because of crazy ass, they pulled out of it because of the Tea Party. That's why the U.S. not involved in it.
Here's what I heard. That same thing you're saying, because I saw this on Bill Maher, comes on Friday or whatever, and the claim was that Canada paid for the bridge as you're talking about, and as you said, the current bridge is making a bunch of folks billions of dollars in tolls. They're making a killing.
No, one family.
One family. Okay. Well, folks. Okay, so this family is making tons of money, and they seen the writing on the wall that once this new bridge is built, it's going to draw, because you're going from only one way of getting in there predominantly. Now you got two, and a lot of the tolls are going to go there, and that's money that's going to come out of their pocket. And apparently they had a meeting with Trump, made some kind of deal with Trump, and right after that deal is when Trump started attacking Canada's bridge.
That's what he does. They have been against that bridge ever since the planning stages of it, that particular family. They've been against it the
Well,
whole time.
obviously.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then they had the meeting with Trump, and then about 2 hours later, he came out and he started speaking against it. Yeah, that's what they do. But see, I mean, how stupid can you get? And then it's not just Canada. It's not just, look what they did to Canada. They pulled the damn the Jack Daniels and all the liquor distilleries down in Kentucky. They having problems because the Canadians they pulled all the damn American liquor off the shelves.
But why do you suggest what Trump is doing is stupid? Think of it like this. Now, we obviously expect the president to do what's best for the nation, future generations, et cetera, et cetera. But what if the president is simply doing what's best for, let's say, his family and generational wealth? Perhaps what he is doing is not stupid, but incredibly smart. Remember, not playing checkers, playing chess. You just think I'm doing something else when I'm really doing something for me and my family.
Well, anybody that follow politics knows that that's what he's doing. Yeah. Now, MAGA might overlook it because they have a severe case of head up Trump's ass syndrome. So they might be overlooking it as they do everything else that he does. But one quick thing, Tim, when you had the guy from Greenland on, you were talking about the taxes, okay?
Yeah.
When you compare, and not just Greenland, but other European countries, Italy and the rest of them, everybody holler about how high their taxes are, but look at what they get for their taxes versus what we get for ours.
That's a great point. That is a great point.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a great point.
We get a whole lot less than what they get.
Yeah.
And we also, I don't know why we need all of a sudden, now we got $1 trillion defense budget coming up. I mean, it's just all kind of...
But that's why, as someone who, thank you for your service, as someone that's a veteran like yourself, it's beefing up our military. Greenland doesn't spend all that money on the military. Most NATO member nations don't do that. So they can't afford to take care of their own people. We put our money in the military and all kinds of, think about how much waste there is in the military. But that's where most of our money goes. So we can't do things for the average citizen like most of these other first world countries do.
Well, first of all, our defense budget is already $800 billion. Well, why all of a sudden we need to go over $1 trillion? Okay, and you're right. If you wanted to, you could easily take 10% out of the defense budget easily, and it wouldn't even, tighten up the accounting procedure, and it wouldn't even hurt. But no, you're not gonna do that because that's what that's what MAGA likes. MAGA likes defense, okay?
I don't know if it's just MAGA, though, Travelman. I think if you get Obama or Biden in there, they're talking about cutting budgets for the military, a lot of Americans are going to, just like we talking about defunding the police, people believe that it's protection and there is no price you can put on protection. That's why they don't want people touching those budgets.
The last time it was some pressure put on the defense budget, the Republicans did it. Remember the sequester when Obama was president?
Okay.
And they came up with that sequester thing, and they put it in place because they wanted to do. They thought, hey, if we put this on the military, there's no way the Republicans are going to let anything happen to the defense budget. But they are so concentrated on owning the libs that in Obama that they let that sequester go into effect. It was all, I don't know how much of the budget was cut, or they didn't increase it, or it stayed at the same level or whatever. But it happened like that for about 2 or 3 years, and that was Republicans doing that, and then they blamed it on Obama.
Well, I'll just say this: when you talk about owning the libs, I got to move it on, but I'll just say this: Trump has done a really good job at owning the libs. Because that has been his core mission. He's done a really good job at owning the libs.
But don't you think that actually it seemed like he's doing a good job of owning the libs? But to a certain extent, I think it's going to always end up backfiring because number one, they're going to get their ass waxed in the midterms.
You sure there's going to be a traditional midterms?
What do you mean?
Well, shit. If now that you're required to prove you're a citizen with all of the documents, they're
that ain't gonna pass. That's not gonna pass.
Bro, the man has already stated on Truth Social, I don't give a damn if this voter ID requiring citizenship passes or not. We gonna do it any fucking way.
But see, that's the problem. The federal government do not have control of elections. That's the state's responsibility.
You know?
Now you might have them dumbass red states I can tell you right now, the blue states gonna tell them to pack sand and get the hell up out of here.
Well, Tim Walsh told him to pack sand and got his whole town flooded with ice ages. I don't know, Travelman. I'll tell you it is.
But then hold on a minute though, Tim. Because and this is what, and they flooded it. And then what happened? The people rose up.
Yeah, and got killed. They rose up and got killed, got their ass beat, got pepper sprayed.
But still, that's what they did.
Yeah.
And then what happened? But see, even when all that happened, they didn't back down.
No.
They kept coming.
Well, you don't have listen. If you driving to work or driving to the store and ICE is pulling you over, making you prove you're a citizen, you don't have the ability to back down. That's why I was telling Mago, well, it wouldn't be a problem if you just comply. No, they fucking with you anyway. You don't have the ability to.
Yeah, what's going on? Everybody talking about what they're doing to ICE. This is a reaction to what they're doing.
Yeah.
People are not just coming out for the hell of it. And Tim, you know Minnesota, bro. It's 14 degrees below, wind chill 21 below. These damn people were still out there.
Yeah. If it had been spring or summer, that shit would have been just like when George Floyd got killed. It would have been bad. It would have been bad.
One more thing before you go. So you brought up Black History Month, and I'm gonna tell you right now, most black people really don't know the depth of Black history. They know what we've been taught in school, and that's just the upper layer. Martin Luther King, slavery, the little stuff that they give them. People that have been studying Black history, like you probably have, I've been studying since I was 15 years old. If you pull back the layers of Black history, people would be amazed at where we at now. But they don't know, and white folks definitely don't know a damn thing about white. And that's why it's like how the hell you gonna tell the Black History Museum, the display, you concentrate too much on slavery. Excuse the hell out of me.
Yeah.
White folks know absolutely jack shit about Black history.
Well, in their defense, because it ain't in their best interest. A lot of white folks feel like it makes them, it's embarrassing or it's an attempt to make them look bad. Listen, their argument is going to be, I didn't have a damn thing to do with slavery. Why the hell do I got to be made to feel bad for what happened 200 years ago?
No, but you know what though? If somebody's 60 years old or even younger than that, and they live down south, your grandfather, great-grandfather, or great-grandfather went to a lynching, went to see somebody become fruit on a tree. But there's a great chance that they did, and the reason there's a great chance they did is because it was a public event. They put the shit in the newspapers, and they want to be embarrassed about it. Let me tell you something, Tim. Who the hell would drag somebody, beat the shit out of them, shoot them, stab them, put them over a tree, and then set them on fire? Who does that to another human being? That's barbaric.
Yeah.
That's barbaric. Okay? And then they don't want nobody to know about it because, that traumatized our kids. What the hell you think it did to our kids?
We can't talk about that, though. Let's stick with black on black crime. 13% of the population, 50% of the incarcerated. Let's stick to black on black crime.
See, so that's where the deflection is at. But now we're in an age, this is the age we're in now. I call it WFW. White folks whining. Okay? Because that's all they're freaking doing is whining.
I gotta go.
My family didn't grow up. I'm gonna finish this up. My family didn't grow up with. I didn't grow up with a whole lot of stuff. Well, look here. If your grandfather and great grandfather came after World War II or before, they were there during Jim Crow. And my question is, did they ever get turned down or rejected because of the color of their skin? No. Yeah. So don't blame us because your family did not take advantage of the privilege that they had to make money and generate wealth for their family because they weren't damn intelligent enough to do it.
All right.
So don't blame us because of it.
Well said. Travelman, thank you for coming through. And real quick, his comment was certainly triggering a few folks in bringing in comments. Mr. Big Angry, it's a hell of a name, says, do you realize how small black history is? Well, I will say this. When you factor in that America has only been a country since 1776, I guess I would have to ask, blacks have been around the whole period. From day one when we were founded as a nation there were blacks in this country as slaves. They've been here the whole time. So whose history is any larger? I don't get that. Now, to I guess to some degree, I would respond by countering and saying, no, do you realize how small Confederate history is? You got folks waving flags everywhere. Now, the history of the actual Confederates is much, much smaller than black history. And we're renaming bases back after Confederates to make sure they get credit. So I don't understand how black history is small, but we can talk about the Confederates. I mean, their history is certainly smaller than black history. Make it make sense. I don't get it. Not really prosecuted much when you consider the world. But we're not talking about the world. We're not talking about the world. If that's the case, you would jump up on September 11th and tell people, do you know how small terrorism is in America? Significantly greater in other countries. Israel has had a lot more terroristic attacks than America has. I mean, I don't know why when it comes to African American history, you start comparing it to the rest of the world. We don't compare the rest of the world on Independence Day on July 4th. Do you realize how many other countries have had independence? Every other holiday. We don't do that. I don't know why for some reason when it comes to African American history, we start talking, well, you guys are just a small part of it. I don't understand where that comes from. Anyway, tap the screen. Get the likes on up to 40,000 if you're watching on TikTok. Smash that like button if you're watching on YouTube. Even if you don't favor what we're discussing, goddammit. This is uncensored programming. You don't have to give a shit about anybody on this program. We do allow comments to flow. What do we always say when we're in a makeshift studio? We go left to Bernie Sanders till I'm having dinner with Q. This is uncensored program. You can be critical of anybody on this program, including the guy you're staring at. So, why you only bring up one random group? I don't get what Mr. Big, I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean one random group? Explain that to me. Because right now it's Black History Month. Last month was Martin Luther King's birthday and Trump didn't address any of that. That might be to some degree why it's coming up. If all of a sudden Easter in April happened and Obama or Biden didn't acknowledge it, you don't think that that would be brought up? Certainly with Obama being suggested that he was a Muslim, you don't think people would criticize him for that? So all of a sudden you get Trump and he don't address black. And I'll tell you this, vote for me and you ain't black. All the MAGA that suggested Trump was a racist, I guarantee if Biden did not address Black History Month, you've been all over him. You'd have been fucking all over him. If he said what Trump said on the internet on Juneteenth, you'd fucking be all over him. So why does Trump get a pass? Is fair not fair? All you had to say was vote for me or you ain't black and he's a fucking racist. The guy ignores MLK's birthday and all of Black History Month. And it's wrong to bring him up, huh? Okay, I mean, are we giving special provisions for President Trump over everybody else? Mike the boss, I don't know what happened to Mike. We'll bring him up in a minute. I get you, but some black people are so delusional when it comes to their history, like the Black Moors and the Black Israel. Look, everybody is fucking delusional when it comes to their history. God damn it, we got white people who think they're supreme over everybody else. You got people from every sect that thinks that some things about their history that are wrong. I mean, that's not something unique to African Americans, Muslims, you name it. You name it. So I don't understand why that's coming up in conjunction just to African Americans. I mean, you got to listen. President Trump made it clear when he was on the world stage that fucking Europe would not exist without the United States. I don't think there's anybody in Europe that agrees with that shit. He makes it sound like if it wasn't for the United States, the whole world would have lost. I don't think anybody else believes that. You played a major part in the war, but you didn't do this shit by yourself. The intelligence, the French resistance, all the other shit you got, you didn't do this by yourself. I mean, to me, that comes across as really bad looking. Let me try it again with Mike. I don't know what happened. I tried to bring him up and it dropped him. We'll try it again. Mike, are you there?
What's up, man? Where the hell you at?
I'm out bike riding.
Bike riding?
Bike riding.
I know you lying because that helmet ain't no. Look at that shit. That shit ain't even.
You think I'm walking around outside with a fucking helmet that don't belong to me? What the hell are you talking about?
Well, that shit don't fit. What's that?
Listen, I've had chicks that are 4'11". You make this shit fit. I got a big head, but you make it fit.
I'm not touching that shit. I will not.
Don't get me started. I'm like a car with bad gas. I won't turn off. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, listen, man. First of all, great show. Hey, tap the screen, share the live.
Appreciate it.
Boy,
there you go.
You're supposed to be on the bus. Your name, Lil Darryl.
This is how. What do you think the hell I'm supposed to do? That's how it goes. You obviously don't ride bikes.
Yeah.
This is how it goes on.
I know. Well, I love screenshotting your ass. I got about listen. Just so you know, I probably got a collection of screenshots that I'm gonna send you. Anyway, tap the screen, share the live. This gets him up to about 75 down. Wow.
Hell yeah. Do that. This is entertaining programming.
They'll get up there just to get me off the show. Listen, Tim. Like you just said, this is Black History Month. Not one reference to it. But not only do they not reference it, they double down on why you posing like that. They double down by nominating.
Somebody told me I was looking cute. You asked me why I'm posing like this. Somebody told me I was looking cute. I'm showing you how a black ass man blushes. That's what I'm looking like that for.
Oh, okay. I see the burgundy hues coming out when you blush like that.
All right, go ahead.
We got a month where they're not acknowledging Black History Month while they simultaneously nominate a white nationalist as Assistant Secretary of State.
Okay.
Now, I told you to go research the guy, right?
Yeah.
Like Jeremy Carl, right? Have you done that?
No.
You look, when you research the guy, you're going to be like, why the hell would you? And again, either this administration is incompetent, or they're looking for these people.
Explain.
Because you can't keep nominating or having people in your orbit with this far right ideology and telling us it's not what it is.
Well, listen. I mean, here's the thing. This is just like when the video went out of President Obama and Michelle Obama was a monkey and all that, and the notion was it's just a joke, it's just comedy and ain't meant to be racist. And my response was like this. Remember when Biden was in office, and this is where I talk to my MAGA folks, my beloved MAGA. My response is, remember when Biden was in office and the price of groceries was, damn near unaffordable. You know what was going on with the price of eggs, but yet he was telling you the economy was doing well. There was nothing he could tell you about the economy because you saw it with your own fucking eyes. That's how people view the monkey video. You can say whatever you want, but at the end of the day, people's perception is their reality. You can tell people it's a joke all you want. If it sounds good, just like Biden telling you the economy was doing well. If it sounds good to the Biden administration to say that, but ain't nobody on the MAGA side buying that Biden's economy was good at that time. Nobody on the left, or even a hell of a lot of independents and a few Republicans, they're not buying that that's just comedy or that your staffer sent it out or it's not meant to be racist, et cetera, et cetera. Same perception. People see what they see. They've come to the conclusion and you're not going to talk them out of it.
Well, and here's the thing, and I don't disagree with you. And here's what I would like you to do in saying that. From now on, when you hold your lives, don't ever say that the Democratic Party and Joe Biden could have done a better job of getting out there selling their agenda. Because no matter what they said, no matter what they did, the Republicans weren't listening anyway.
Yeah, but here's...
They undersold it. When you say, well, this is where I push back on Democrats on their messaging, it did not matter because they did do that, Tim.
I disagree. I'll tell you why I disagree. You're correct. There's nothing that Democrats could have said to sway Republicans from Trump. But keep in mind, Trump won a lot of people that are not traditional Republicans. Like the Venezuelans, we voting for Trump. They weren't just strong, hardcore Republicans or MAGA. It's that the message that Trump sold them sounded better than the Democrats. I mean, there's a lot of folks that voted for Trump that are not MAGA, are not Republicans, that probably would not even vote for him right now. If Kamala Harris had did a better job and got them folks, it would have been a far closer election. She may have even won.
Well, if that's the case, then how can you go back? How can you not go back and look at her campaign trail and go to all of her rallies and go to her debate where she pointed out literally everything that the Trump administration is doing right now? It's not like the message wasn't out there, Tim. These people were sold on. I was on 2 lives today talking about transgender community and all these people that are so
fucking hell bent on this less than 1%. And they're just, you can't combat people's bigotry like that. You can't tell somebody that that's not a thing, even if you show them the numbers and they go, well, I don't want my kids sharing a bathroom with less than 1% of a percent that I've never seen and I didn't know about until they brought it up. You can't combat that shit. What are you going to tell them?
Yeah.
Because
well,
when you show them the data, they don't care. They've never experienced it. All they've done is go, yeah, I don't agree with that one thing, and they run with it. But when you bring up this, the e-files or the felonies, then they want to have a debate.
Yeah. Well, the transgender thing, I always say, you know, you saw the picture I put up with me with the crazy ass wig on and things like that. The problem is with this whole, I don't want a transgender in the same bathroom as my daughter and things like that. You're not always going to know. I mean, there's a lot of transgender people that, I mean, because listen, you're not just staring at every fucking body that walks in the bathroom. Only way you're going to know is if it's somebody that looked like my ugly ass with a wig on. But there are plenty of transgender males that'll walk by you and it will not attract your attention. Because keep in mind, if you're some father that believes that a transgender male in the bathroom with your daughter is a danger to your daughter and you stop that person, and it turns out that's a real woman that you stop and it just happens to be an ugly ass bride, you're committing a felony. When you start actually physically trying to stop somebody and it turns out this person is actually a woman, you can get in a lot of trouble doing that. So I think a lot of folks don't realize you may not recognize the transgender woman that's walking by you. It may look like an actual woman.
But even if you stop and they are, it's still a felony. You can't stop anybody from.
Yeah.
And just real quick, by the way, Gen X, I saw that about the last 8 pew-pewers. You're trying to say it's transgender. You just continue to repeat racist propaganda.
Let me address that real quick because I read a post from Elon Musk on X this morning. And it shows who is responsible for all of the recent mass shootings. And it has transgender males as number one, transgender females is number one, transgender males. So transgender female is obviously a biological male that's dressing up as a woman in the reverse. I'm like, you telling me women that now identify as men are responsible for the second highest group of mass shootings? Like, where that's happening at? Just made that up.
Yeah, just make it up, and then dumb motherfuckers like Gen X and the rest of them will just repeat it. But they know that, Tim. They know that. They know that the critical thinking skills and the comprehension of their followers is low. They know that. They understand that all I have to do is say it, and they'll believe it. And they prove them time and time again. It's so bad. It's so bad that they will never support their claims. They'll just go, you look it up, right? Like, you look it up.
Well, we just had a case like that in Canada. I think there's one in Nashville. There's some of them that have done it. But yeah, if you go through all of the mass shootings we've had at schools and in grocery stores and churches and shit like that, transgender community is not at the top of the list. I don't know where that came from other than what you said. They're just making it up. And for Elon Musk himself to post that, wow.
The same people that are all, it's just, Tim, listen, the people are losing their mind. They know that the midterms, if there's a free and fair midterm, they know that they're screwed. That's why they're trying to come up with the SAVE Act and all this other shit to disenfranchise voters because they know it's bad. His poll numbers are the lowest they've ever fucking been. But they make this stuff up just so they don't have to own the reality. But they're never going to own the reality. They're never going to own the reality of what we're looking at right now. They're never going to own the reality of who these people are, what their ultimate goal is. They're putting it all out there. They'll never own it. They'll never fucking own it.
Yeah.
While simultaneously telling you right now that the sky behind you, if Trump was looking at your live right now and said the sky behind
I know where you're going with this. I know where you're going with this.
Motherfuckers would say, yes, that is green behind Tim.
Wait a minute. Are you trying to indicate that President Trump has enough power to make MAGA not even believe their own eyes?
100%
Give me an example of how he's done that before.
Shit. When it comes to the law itself, when it comes to the files, he ain't in there.
That's what they said. He went in there. Ain't nothing to see here.
He
They
in there.
said ain't nothing to see here. Move on. Ain't nothing to see here until the files came out. And now they're saying, well, he's in there, but is he really in there? Just because he hangs out with somebody that has been doing this stuff forever doesn't mean you do anything. But Bill Clinton was in there, and he should be underneath the jail. They ignore this shit. Or let me ask you this: there's a big ass hole in the White House still right now as we speak.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They'll act like that's okay. Let me ask you a quick question, Tim, for all of those MAGA listeners that are listening. They told them that Doge was going to cut spending. Have we spent more in the last year than they actually? Have we spent more this year in federal spending?
Well, here's the problem with that, though, Mike. I get where you're going with it, but do you trust the numbers? Like, who gives the numbers that you find trustworthy? I mean, because remember, the Trump administration is saying Doge saved us nearly $1 trillion. I mean, you don't know what to believe when you see numbers coming out.
Exactly. So that's exactly where I was going. So they said they were going to save money with Doge, but their own published numbers, which I don't believe, I believe they're higher because they clearly wouldn't post a number that's higher when it's really lower. They would never fucking do that, right? So if they say that federal spending is 1.9 trillion, if that's what they're reporting, we know it's not lower. So do I believe it's higher than that? You goddamn right I believe it's higher than that. So it's so bad they had to report something, because why would Trump report that number if they could avoid it?
Yeah, but what about the notion? What about the notion that he created 130,000 jobs? The unemployment rate is down to 4.3%. Inflation is cooling off. What about that? Is he doing a good job with the economy? Is he improving things?
I'm glad you brought that up. 4.3 is flat. The 4.3 is flat for white Americans, but black unemployment is up 7.8%.
Nobody cares about black Americans. Goddamn it! We're talking about the country.
That's my whole point. But it's up. We should be careful. Here's the thing, Tim. Back to what you said. So spending is up. Unemployment is the unemployment number for our community, what I care about, is up. So even if it's flat, think about it. If unemployment is flat overall, but ours is up, how significant is that? The jobs report. 188,000 jobs last year. The entire year of 2025. 188,000 jobs.
Like I said,
his first year,
the numbers.
Biden had 1.4 million his first year. Like literally, what are we talking?
Well, Jerry Garcia in the comments says at least the border is quieter right now. Before you respond, Handsome Evil Finger says if Trump said turtles would fly, MAGA would believe anything. That's how gullible they are. You don't believe that MAGA would believe turtles fly. That's a heavy ass animal.
I'm gonna take it a step further. If there was a dealership that was selling flying tortoises, Stevie D, Gen X, DJ Julio, MAGA Reacts, Jeremy, Handsome Conservative, all them motherfuckers would have turtles in their garage right now. Every last one of them.
If Trump has that kind of power, I want to be Trump. I want to be that guy. That guy has a lot of power, according to you. I got to move it on. We're doing it abbreviated. I'll give you the last word, but I got to move it on.
Let me talk. And matter of fact, I'm going to send it to you. I want to show you how many hospitals have closed and or closed.
I've been hearing about that.
I'll show you that out of these red states. I'll show you how many more are losing their. There was already OBG deserts in this country. I'll show you how many more hospitals are losing those services, and then tell me how well it's working out.
But oddly enough, if what you're saying is true, and this is why I question it, why isn't MAGA complaining? It's happening in their areas.
They are complaining. Ain't nobody putting it on their lives. Who the fuck gonna put that on their lives, Tim? They don't want to come up and talk about it. Is it making the Sunday shows? Is it making Fox News? Fuck no, Fox ain't gonna put it on there. But if you look at Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee, these states, Alabama, these states that I'm naming are losing these services as we speak.
Fair enough, Mike. Thanks for coming through. I got to move it on.
Yeah, look. Straight talk. Commissary, that ain't happening. See, look it up then.
Well,
I mean, just go look it up.
You probably need Fox or somebody like that, a more respected outlet. A more respected outlet from the right. I gotta go. Thanks.
All right, bro.
By the way, folks, tap the screen. Get your boy on up to 60 thou. Some of you folks want to show some love and help your boy out with the hat mustache go. That would be greatly appreciated. The TikTok cap. The Gallup polls have been discontinued. Yeah, I did hear that. You know, well, listen, President Trump does not like bad news. If you give him bad news, listen, I'm going to tell you flat out, I do personally see President Trump, and thank you, Debo, yeah, for the hat mustache. I do see President Trump as a kill the messenger type guy. If you work for President Trump, it probably doesn't make you feel comfortable to have to deliver bad news. Let's say, for instance, you are the one responsible for giving numbers, measurements, or accounts in regards to what's going on in America. If he's doing something great, fine. You can give him credit. The border, friend. The border is pretty damn secure under President Trump. That's something Trump has done that's certainly an achievement. Border's probably more secure under President Trump than it's been in our lifetimes right now, because it just ain't safe to come here illegally at this point. So the border is probably our border is probably currently more secure than any first world nation on earth. Because if you enter America illegally, we're going to treat you worse than any other first world nation on earth. We are not a fan of coming in here illegally right now. The only thing stopping you from getting shot is that the courts have prevented Trump from doing that. But he has indicated he would at least like to shoot you in the leg, perhaps feed you to an alligator or some other carnivorous animal. But that's something good. But if you have to relate to the public something that is not good from the Trump administration, you could lose your job. It's got to be a stressful position to be in, because he does not entertain negative reports. Fix it up, spin it, make that shit sound good. I can't go out there sounding like I'm doing something wrong. So it kind of leaves you in a predicament where you got to almost lie to the people. Looking in the comments, what does this have to do with the Epstein files? Nobody gives a damn about the Epstein files on the right. On the right, I'm adding that disclaimer in there. The left absolutely cares about it. The right did care about it when Biden was in office. You heard everybody from Tom Hanks to Oprah Winfrey was on the list. All of a sudden, Trump became president, and yeah, they don't care about it. What do I say on every damn live? It's a 90-10 issue. Folks believe that President Trump is doing 90% good for this nation. Not going to throw him under the bus for the other 10. So I don't think that anything coming out of the Epstein files is going to be harmful to Trump, at least in the eyes of MAGA. Not to mention, as I keep bringing up, they're not going to believe any of that shit anyway. If President Trump is saying what you just read is not true, maybe a liberal that's on the FBI or whatever the case may be, a liberal that did this report, had it in for me, MAGA's going to believe that. They're going to believe that some liberal, fair, or Department of Justice person put that shit in there. They're not going to believe anybody over Trump. So there's no way you're going to convince MAGA anything about the fucking Epstein files anyway. Think about it. If President Trump did something wrong with a child, or committed any bad felony for that matter, who's going to be responsible for telling you that? NSA, CIA, FBI, Department of Justice? You think Trump couldn't tell you Pam Bondi's been sold out to the deep state? The head, Cash Patel, is now working for the liberals. You think he couldn't easily tell? I mean, if he can get rid of Liz Cheney, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Mike Pence like that, you don't think he could do that to Cash Patel or any of the rest of them? So even if they do tell you he's done something wrong, as long as he says he hasn't done it, in the eyes of MAGA, he hasn't done it. So it's not a difficult bar to jump over. Just tell them you didn't do it. They're going to believe you over any of them anyway. So anyway, looking in the comments and exactly what Paul Sauce 4352 says, 34 fabricated felonies. They tried to impeach me twice. They tried to lock me up with 34 bullshit felonies. Now they're trying to prevent me from taking America back by lying and saying I was with little kids. You think MAGA wouldn't eat that shit up like spaghetti? So it doesn't matter what's in the Epstein files. It ain't gonna matter. Collaborators are worse than perpetrators. Well, I'm just letting you know. Everything I read about Trump in the files was unsubstantiated. The contacts were bad or non-existent. That's the point. There is no eyewitness that MAGA's going to take their word over Trump. Some woman crying about how she was sodomized. They're not going to take her fucking word over Trump. There's nobody that could tell MAGA that Trump did something wrong, and they're going to believe that person over Trump. If you're saying I didn't do it, damn it, he didn't do it. That's all he has to say. Anyway, let me go back to the box. The guy is going to rank above all of that. You're not going to convince MAGA that he did something wrong. Angry patriot. Good evening, Angry. Don't know if it brought him up or not. Perhaps it didn't. We'll try it again. Midterms will help. Don't put all your money on the midterms. I'm telling you, don't put all your money on the midterms. And there's a secret weapon it's called the ID, the SAFE Act. Don't put all your money on the midterms. That ain't expected to go like the normal midterms. Let's try it again with Angry Patriot. Good afternoon, Angry Patriot. Can you hear me?
How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So, Trump is on the world stage, and I'm asking folks right off the bat, do you see us as more respected now internationally with our allies and on the world stage with Trump than we were with Biden?
Yes and no.
Explain.
Yes, in a way of power, in a way of showing balls, showing that we are who we are as America. But then with respect-wise, I don't think so.
What do you mean the part with balls showing we are who we are as Americans? Explain that part.
So, the way that he took out Maduro, the way that he's going about with Iran, which Iran taking out that regime is never going to happen. Consider it a lost cause, because CIA wanted that regime in there for a reason, the same way that they wanted Saddam Hussein in there for a reason as well.
Do you believe our allies favor us engaging in regime change? Now we're talking about possibly 2 nations within a year's time. Thank you, evil Majin Boo. Thank you. Do you believe our allies favor that?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Do you believe our allies favor America engaging in regime change? Now we're talking possibly 2 nations within less than a year's time.
No, because seeing what happened previous times with regime changes and all that, I don't think that they would sit there and defend us with the same type of stuff.
What do you mean? You talking about Iraq?
Like taking out Saddam, taking out Gaddafi, taking out Hosni Mubarak, taking out all these different people. When you're seeing that when they were in charge, I'm gonna take Gaddafi for example. Gaddafi was a piece of shit, yeah. But what did he do for his people? If you got married, he gave each person $25,000 for their family. If you had children, he would give you $5,000 for every children. If, let's say, you were in college and you graduated and you were looking for a job, you would get almost the same type of benefits that we get until you find a job.
Wow.
And then at the same time, with his oil production, he would give every single citizen a piece and cut of the oil.
So how are the people in Libya doing now that Gaddafi's gone? Thanks to America.
They're fucked up. The whole country's messed up. I speak like this because, I come from that region. My parents and family come from Iraq. We're Christians from Iraq. We escaped persecution from the Muslims back in the 70s.
Do you, when he's talking about taking out the Iranians, with you being from the region or having some knowledge of the region, do you favor removing that regime, or do you think that's a bad idea as well?
Yes, I do favor it because they deserve their freedom. When they had it with the Shah, they had freedom. They were able to walk around. They were able to wear whatever they wanted, speak however they wanted, do whatever they want. My family used to go up to Iran during parties and stuff like that and party with them back in the 70s. But up until the regime changed, that whole thing changed.
But let me ask you this. Okay, so once if we were to get rid of that regime in Iran, what's going to replace it? How do you know what you replace it with is going to be any better?
Well, if you were going to replace it with anything, it's going to go to the similar way that it was which was with the Crown Prince. That's the only way it's going to exist. That's the only way it's going to work. Because even the people want the Crown Prince to come back. But he's too big of a sissy for the last 30 years, 40 years, and he's sitting in the background talking about one day he wants it, one day he doesn't. One day he wants it, one day he doesn't.
You talking about Trump?
So it's like, no, I'm talking about the Crown Prince.
Oh. But wait a minute. But let me ask you this. Iran has been an adversary of America for so long. If we were to help them get rid of that regime, would they view us as friends and allies? I mean, how would they view us? Because they've been taught to hate us for a long time.
Before this regime, we had a really good relationship with
Right,
Iran.
right. But that's like 50 years ago.
But that's like 40, 50 years ago. But now they hate us. All they say is Bagmar American, Bagmar American. What that means is
death to America.
I don't want to say it.
Death to America. Yeah, death to America.
Death to America. So I mean, they want the new Crown Prince. They want the Crown Prince in power. That's who they put their sides by, because that's who they've known for as long as a Shah, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like that's who the closest people that they know that can take it to the next level, as the same level as as his father did.
Yeah, but real quick, hang on. I want to address a comment. Tyrant 1, I guess 10,000 says 50 years ago in a country means yesterday. You sure don't say that when African Americans are complaining about what's going on, because we were doing a lot worse 50 years ago, and you don't want us talking about it. But now all of a sudden we're talking about Iran. Well, 50 years is only yesterday. Then yesterday we were living a really fucked up life, huh? So pick and choose when you want to talk about it. Go ahead, Angry.
That's a difficult thing to talk about, to be honest with you, because I don't really know that much about the civil rights.
It ain't yesterday. Let me just say it this way. 50 years ago is at least that's like 2.5 generations. A lot of the people are dead and things like, no, it's a big change. I mean,
like me personally, I respect Martin Luther King. I respect Malcolm X for the things that they spoke about, for, like Rosa Parks and all that. Like my favorite person, Black History Month would be Bass Reeves. Bass Reeves was a bad motherfucker. He was the first black marshal. He arrested almost thousands and thousands of fugitives. He killed 14 outlaws. He even arrested his own son on a arrest warrant. He was all about, law and order.
Right. Well, I don't want to go down the Black History road, but I appreciate that input on that. But in regards to Iran, you do favor the regime being taken out, yes, but they
deserve a change. They deserve new. They deserve better life.
And you think and do you think America should be the one to do it?
No, I feel like their own country, their own people, the way that it fell before with the Shah, it should fall the same way.
They're going to get slaughtered though. In most countries, usually the change happens with some outside help. I mean, hell, they couldn't even deal with ICE in Minnesota. They were already starting to get slaughtered. When your government goes against you, you usually get slaughtered when you try to fight back.
Well, see, this is the problem that we face. If we go in and we take out the regime, we got to go up against China. We got to go up against India. We got to go up against North Korea. It's like and Russia.
You think all of them folks will step up to defend Iran?
Russia will, of course, Russia.
Yeah, but what condition is Russia? After all of the Ukrainian deaths that they've had, I mean, the Ukrainians have killed a lot of Russians. I mean, are they really in condition to now defend another nation?
Well, you know what? Russia is one of those countries that, we think that they're kind of like, how do I explain this? Broke, but at the same time, they got real money. They got money hidden. It's almost like, like the Saudi Arabians, where they don't have no taxes, they don't have nothing, but they have hidden money somewhere.
I mean, there's a ton of money there's a ton of money in Kuwait, but they don't have a military. I mean, if a lot of your male population is getting slaughtered, I mean, having money alone. You really think that Russia would defend Iran right now?
To be honest with you, I don't really believe the numbers that they're coming out with the pew pews and the on the numbers of what's
Really?
going on with both sides.
So you believe there's less deaths than what they're telling you about?
No, I think there's kind of a little bit more than what they're really talking about.
So you believe there's more deaths than what they're telling you?
Yeah, because look, Ukraine is a very small country compared to Russia.
Right.
You're telling me Ukraine is holding up against Russia?
Superior. You give them superior equipment. Yeah. I mean, listen. Well, let me say it like this: if Russia is using older, less technologically advanced equipment, if they're getting aid and assistance from the United States, even our 1980, 1990s equipment is probably comparable to most of Russia's conventional equipment. So listen, if you got the right equipment, you don't need the manpower. Them drones, for instance, just slaughtering people.
Yeah, but same thing with the Ukraine. I mean, they're dealing with what? Newer type equipment from the United States.
Right. That's why they're
from Israel.
Yeah, that's why they're holding off Russia for so long.
Yeah, I mean it's a tough one. It's a tough one with that too. Honestly, it's really tough because honestly, I don't want to say I don't believe the numbers, but I think it's more than what it really is.
Let me ask you now. Are you a citizen in America, or did you?
Yes, sir. I was born here.
Who did you vote for?
Trump.
Okay, fair enough. Are you happy with your vote?
Well, because, yes and no. I'll be honest. Yes and no. Yes, because I feel like what he's doing, what he promised, what he said he was going to do, was like any other president that he kept his promise. Not like every other president.
Give me promises made, promises kept is what you're talking about. Give me what Trump campaigned on that you feel the border I agree with you on. Give me some of the other promises from Trump you believe he has succeeded.
The deficit order. Let's see. Foreign trade. Getting out of NATO. But then again, I don't agree with getting out of NATO. I'm one of those people that.
Give me the successes though. Don't give me if you don't agree with NATO, then that's not a success. You said foreign trade. Explain that. What are you talking about?
So he's making different businesses with like different countries, like with India, with Saudi Arabia, with Qatar, with let's see what else. What was the other one you did with? God damn it.
Now,
the other one.
You were born here. Was your parents born here also?
No, my parents were born in Iraq. They were born and raised in Iraq.
And you know that he has banned folks from your nation from coming, and you favor this.
Actually, no. Well, actually, no, because my aunt just came here last year.
The ban went in this year. Now you're talking about a total and complete ban on all Muslims is something he called for in his first term, and you.
But I'm Christian. I'm a Christian, born in Iraq.
So you believe that a Christian coming from Iraq would have been let in under Trump?
I mean, he has. I mean, he's let a lot of Christians in from Iraq, even though that they're from Iraq.
Okay.
If you're Muslim, he won't let you in. He doesn't like Muslims.
What about you?
Has a stance on it.
Do you agree with that? That Muslims shouldn't be allowed in America?
No, because I mean, even though that we left from persecution, it was a different time. My father would trust a Muslim now than he would his own people, because his own people would take it from him more than a Muslim would. So it's like in between, if that makes sense.
So when he called for a total and complete ban on all Muslims coming to America, you disagree with that?
I disagree with that, because if you're not going to vet them and you're not going to go through it and see what they were on their past, then it's what is America? What is America built on? America's built on different races, different nationalities, and different everything, correct?
And true, but you believe President Trump is currently upholding that tradition?
No, he has a hate for them. But then he'll do business with them.
But you do believe the president that you're saying has a hate for immigrants, I suppose is what you're talking about. you're still for the most part happy with your vote for this guy.
Yes and no. It's funny, right? I'm telling you.
Well, but I get the yes and no part. I get the yes and no part, but you're saying yes and no for somebody you're admitting that has hate in their heart. Hate is not a deal breaker, huh?
Hate is a kind of a deal breaker.
Kinda.
When you have hate towards a group of people, I mean, you're kind of fucked up, you know. But then when you prove yourself as coming to like the business world and what you're doing in business, I really can't. You know, I have a.
So you see finances making America more fit and profitable financially. You put that above, let's say, hate. If somebody is hateful, but they're strengthening the American economy, you don't.
As long as you strengthen the American economy, then yeah.
Wow. Okay, I wanted to make sure I get clarity. Okay, fair enough. I mean,
but the hate part. Look, but the hate part, you can't get away with that. You know what I mean? It's like it's like a tough sword, if that makes sense. It's like how do I explain this? Yeah, you're strengthening America, but at the same time that you have hate for certain towards the people, you're a fucked up person. So, at the end of the day,
do you view Trump as a quote unquote fucked up person? At the end of the day, you do believe he's that?
Yes, at the end of the day, yes.
But you're still somewhat happy with your vote for a fucked up person with hate in their heart.
I'm not happy for my vote.
You just said, I asked you, are you happy with that vote? No. You said yes and no.
To strengthen America, I mean, shit, 50-50. We'll put it 50-50.
Can you strengthen America as a leader governing with hate in your heart? Can you really strengthen America with that in you?
Kind of, in a certain way.
You and these answers, man. Okay, so tell me how you can strengthen America while simultaneously having hate in your heart.
I'm a capitalist.
Nothing wrong with that.
So, I mean, he's capitalizing, if that makes sense.
Okay. All right, let's see. Gen X says, if the hate is for liberals, absolutely. Do you agree with that? It's okay to have hate in your heart as long as you have it for the left. Kinda.
Shit. They put him through hell. They put him through hell. The left side put him through hell. You gotta admit.
Well, what did you think the left was going to do when he became president after saying Obama was born in another country? He had the president before him. He was trying to have that guy disqualified. You think they were going to embrace him with open arms?
I mean, look, Tim, oh, shit, how am I going to say this?
Take your time. No censor. You can say whatever you want.
I mean, to me, he's like the Teflon Don.
I don't disagree with that, but when folks suggest they put Trump through all kinds of shit so they understand how he acts, I'll respond by saying, because they say, they attacked Trump on day one. I point out that on day 0, before he became president, when Trump came down the golden escalator, he had already been attacking Obama for several years. Like, what did people expect to happen? They were going to embrace him after he was doing all of that?
You gotta admit, they tried throwing every single curveball at him, and he withheld, and he went through it.
Yeah, I'm not arguing with the Teflon. I'm not arguing with the Teflon Don part. He survives a lot of shit. I'm not disagreeing with that. What I have an issue with is suggesting that on day 1 he was some innocent guy and the left just wouldn't give him a chance. I mean, he had already been dirty as hell going after Obama with all that shit by the time he became president.
That's politics.
No, it's not. You're not even a fucking politician, and you're talking about the president is not born in the country. That ain't politics.
Try playing the politics of it.
How is that?
You come after him.
No.
After him, he comes after you.
Obama didn't. No. Wait a minute. Obama was not coming after Trump while Obama was president. Trump was a citizen. He wasn't fucking with Trump. That was Trump coming after Obama.
You got me on that one.
Okay, so when Trump finally became president, People already had angst toward him because of how he had been doing toward the last guy. He became, on day one when he became president, he was already dirty as hell from all the shit he did to the last guy. Obama wasn't fucking with Trump as president, other than the.
Well, hold on. A wise man once told me. This: when you come after somebody, it doesn't matter. When you come after him, it doesn't matter. You got to be a man to take it when it comes back at you. Meaning, at the party or at the whatever it is that they were at.
The correspondence dinner.
When Obama said it, hey, at least I'm president, and something that Trump will never be. He took it in his heart and said, you know what? Fuck you. I'm gonna get you, and I'm gonna put you where you belong.
Bro, the point
That's how I am.
So, one correspondence dinner where it is traditional
He held it in his brain and said, you know what? I'm coming for you.
You know, to me, you know what that sounds like? Sitting in the front row of a comedy show and complaining why the comedian is talking about you. What Obama did at that correspondence dinner is traditional. Why would you go to that if you can't handle that? And remember before you respond, remember the left are the ones that's supposed to be snowflakes, right?
Say it again?
The left are the ones that's supposed to be snowflakes, right?
Not necessarily. I mean, you're gonna call me a snowflake too, because I'm not even that part.
No, but what I'm saying, why would you go to a correspondence dinner and all of a sudden you want to take revenge because the guy done what they traditionally do? They make jokes about people at a correspondence dinner. Why would you even go to that?
He made it personal.
Yeah, that's snowflake shit. That's
Obama made it personal.
yes, that's what I'm talking about. Obama didn't make it personal. He told a few jokes. How did he make it personal?
I mean, he literally told it in front of a whole crowd of his people.
Are you crying? Are you actually crying?
No, I'm just saying. Hey, you know what? Trump took a personal on what he said. And he said, you know what? Fuck around and find out.
Okay. All right. I got to move it on. Angry, good talk. Always come back. I'm pushed for time, but you're certainly welcome back anytime, man.
God bless you and God bless your family and keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. My door's always open to you. Moving on with the program. By the way, tap the screen, folks. Yeah! Gordon 777. Appreciate the hat and mustache. Donald Trump said Obama was an American citizen. That's why Obama cracked jokes at him. No, Donald Trump, toward the end of Obama's term, finally came out there and said Obama is an American citizen. He was born in America, period. You know, let's get back to making America great again. But he was on Bill O'Reilly and everything talking about how his people are in Kenya and you'd be amazed at what they find. And I mean, he was really trying to indicate Obama was born in another country. For over a year, he was doing that. So Trump started with the birthright citizenship, says bow. Yeah, bow down. And that's one of the things I have a concern with. If you can look at Obama's birth certificate and question that he's not born in America, even though everybody in the hospitality industry where he was born at says he was born in. If you can suggest that Obama was not born in America, when it's time for us to vote in the midterms and you hand your birth certificate over, what makes you think he may not say your shit ain't real? I mean, this guy's already showed you that you can present documents that you're a citizen and he may question them and not believe them when they're actually legitimate. If he did it to a sitting president, what makes you think you're safe from him doing it to you? That's what you gotta prove to that administration. Remember, he said he wants to nationalize the election and let Republicans control it. Or as Steve Bannon said, I want to flood the area with ICE agents at all the polling places. If you got to show them your documents and they've already made it clear they didn't even trust Obama's, you sure that your shit is going to be viewed as legitimate? Let me go back to the box. I may have to wrap this up soon. I don't want to be out here past sunset. Evil Majin Boo. And let's throw in some fear-mongering. Gen X, call it fear-mongering all you want. They said the same thing when the liberals claimed, Kamala Harris said that Trump was going to have the military in U.S. cities. It was fear-mongering. When they said that if you put Trump in Not only is he going to ban abortion, he's going to talk about putting women in jail. That was fear. He's a lot of this fear mongering stuff is coming true. Evil. Good evening.
Evening, man, or actually, good afternoon there.
Hey, good to have you on. Good to have you on. President Trump making us more respected on the world stage. What say you?
Well, honestly, I'm shocked about your last caller because, man, that's some crazy shit.
What shocked you? What shocked you about my last caller?
Well, uh, did he say that he was Muslim or?
He's Christian. He's of Iraqi descent, but he is a Christian.
So, if he voted for Trump and Trump has it in for like people of color and all this other stuff, like, why is he gonna continue to, Trump?
Because of what he said. He's a capitalist. He likes Trump as a businessman, which a lot of MAGA says. We need a businessman to run the country. They believe Trump is doing what's best economically. So they'll overlook that stuff because at the end of the day, he's putting more money in their pocket, or they perceive.
But the thing is, though, people have to understand that Trump is looking out for his own people.
Well, he's one of his people. He considers himself one of Trump's people. He voted for him.
Yeah, well, man,
I'm just saying.
He might have to be the new confused Uncle Ruckus, man.
Oh no! Yeah, oh no! Oh no! Well, wait! You don't call somebody of Arab descent or of Iraqi descent an Uncle Ruckus, do you? They don't call them Uncle Ruckus. That's normally a black guy, I thought.
But like, how can he say that when ICE is going after people of color? Like, like how can he sit there and say, or the Obamas did Trump wrong. Obama said this to the Trump, and it's like, look, the Obama, yeah, he never actually came out at Trump, though. Trump began all of that by simply saying, "Oh, hey, look, since you
well, wait a minute. He did. Obama did launch. Hold on. Obama did swing at Trump first, if you count the correspondence dinner. I don't know if Trump had really said anything negative about Obama before that. According to my last caller, the correspondence dinner was viewed as a personal barb at Trump, and that's what triggered Trump. And I think Chris Christie says the same thing.
Well, there's certain ways that you got to look at it, though, and that's the difference, though. So, and correct me if I am wrong, or like if I am right, though. Didn't Obama and Trump were trying to be buddy
they were putting on. I mean, listen, Trump and Biden, when Trump won a second term, him and Melania came and met Jill and Joe Biden. I mean, they just putting on theirs. No, Trump hates Biden, and Biden family probably hate Trump too. Trump hates Obama. I don't know if the Obamas really hate Trump like that, but Trump hates them too.
Yeah, well, honestly, at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, you have to be like, hey, look, we are all the same thing, regardless of your race. We are going to piss the same. We are going to shit the same. We are going to bleed the same.
Yeah, but that ain't, I get it, but that ain't likely to happen. I mean, we've always said we need to come together and unify, and we all bleed red. I mean, it sounds good, but America's never been like that in real life. It's always been a talking point that we need to come together. I mean, Martin Luther King said something like that. It sounds great, but in reality, I don't think we ever will honor that.
And then also that mentioning, Martin Luther King, like, why would people actually say that he didn't even do nothing for people? Like, where is all that shit coming from? Like
I don't know.
All that makes no sense. These people are so. What is the term called? Like they're so. It is, or they are. It is the, or like they're so wrapped up in like everything else. They don't really see the concept, though. It is like around that.
Yeah, I said it in the monologue. I have no idea why Martin Luther King has suddenly became so unpopular in the last year or so. I mean, the amount of criticisms I heard about Obama, obviously Juneteenth last year, even President Trump criticized that holiday, and he's not addressing Black History Month. I don't know why all of a sudden. It's because we traditionally have. Even George Bush, the right was addressing this stuff too. Under Trump, none of this stuff is of. He don't care about none of this stuff.
Yeah, I am just so dumbfounded over that, where that they think that they don't think that Martin Luther King didn't even do like anything. Like, I don't. That just makes no sense, though. It's, yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't think Trump is going to get rid of the Martin Luther King holiday or anything like that. I think now you may see some tributes to MLK may go away. They got rid of a tribute to Harriet Tubman and stuff like that, and I believe the Backlash concert to go back. But Juneteenth, you could lose that holiday entirely. When you look at what Trump said last year on Juneteenth, it indicated we got too many holidays. We need to get. What did he say? We need to get rid of some of these if we want to make America great again. He didn't even say Happy Juneteenth. He didn't address the holiday at all. So
why should we have a holiday when people are doing stuff about National Popcorn Day or National Cookie Day? Like, come on, man. Like,
well, because maybe because the white people are making the cookies. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I have no clue why it's become so unpopular. I gotta move on. Evil. It's starting to get cold out here. I'm gonna be on later on, but I do gotta move it on. But I don't know why it's became so unpopular.
Right. All right, then, man. Well, hey, take care. Have a good one. And as always, let's say you.
Appreciate it. Thanks for coming through. Real quick, I did see somebody in the comments. I wanted to what am I doing here? Oh wow. And thank you guys that are tapping it. What the hell? What is it? I don't know if it's going. Miss Mo Better. Not bad numbers for a short show. Oh, thank you, Debo. Straight talk. What are we doing wrong? I see you in the comments. What the hell am I getting wrong?
God damn, dude. I mean, what are you getting right? Let's start with what you're getting right.
Oh, God.
All right, now that we've got everything you got right, let's talk about what you did wrong. What you got wrong. A Muslim ban. Really? 90 days we don't want people from Iraq, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, and Yemen.
That ain't what he said.
That's your Muslim ban.
That ain't what he said.
No. What do you mean what he said? It is what he said.
Bullshit.
I don't want Muslims.
That ain't what he said. His quote.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I'm reading it right here.
Okay.
Sam, I'm reading it right here.
Okay. All right. Let me tell you something. What you reading ain't what he said.
Listen, I don't know what to tell you. It's what he did. You said Trump made a Muslim ban. No,
I said he called for a Muslim. No, I said
all of these countries have Muslims, and they all still came to the country.
So
it was for 90 days.
So he never called for a total Muslim ban. He never called for that.
No. He never picked a religion and said we're going to block this entire religion. We want certain people from certain countries to be prevented from coming into the United States.
Okay.
That's what it was.
So he only named certain countries.
And by tomorrow, I'm going to have to explain this.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Hang on. Hold on. So he only named certain countries is what you're saying.
Iran, Iraq, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, Yemen.
Okay, I want you to hear something.
7
Hold on.
countries in
Okay,
the entire world.
I want you to listen to this, and you tell me when you hear the 7 countries. This is President Trump.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims.
Let me rewind it.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what the hell is going on.
What countries did he name?
Tim, what did he do?
What countries did he name?
By the way,
What countries did he name?
Here's what you should have done. You should have done the sentence before that where the president says, I read an article claiming that Donald Trump, this is what he wants.
What countries?
Stop. And you should have let it keep playing where it says, this is what I'm asking for.
That ain't what. Okay, let me play the rest of it.
Go ahead and edit it. Go ahead and edit it out.
There's no editing.
While you're doing that, oh, you ready?
I'm trying to hit play. This damn thing is there.
Until our country's representatives can figure out what the hell is going on.
That's let me.
Not a bad idea.
Well,
That's a good idea or no?
I'm telling you. You said he said specific countries. That's not true.
I'm reading it right here. What the actual
I don't care what you
number is. You can go read it for your. Well, you can also read it to you because I know you ain't able to read.
Why do I gotta read some?
It's Executive Order 13769. Write it down. 13769.
Why do I gotta
read what he did?
Why do I gotta read some when the guy's on screen actually saying it?
Oh yes, because he didn't ban your Muslims, dummy.
You told me.
Ban the Muslims.
You told me he said
Muslims from a certain country. Every one of them are terrorist countries, but you don't want that. You want them all. Come on in, fellas. Water's hot. Let's go.
You told me he said specific countries. He is not saying specific country. He may have said that later and clear. Just like when he talked about.
He did say specific countries, man. He told his State Department which countries he wanted them banned from. He could have banned them from Turkey. He did not. He could have banned them from Saudi Arabia. He did not.
So,
Dubai.
So what is he saying here?
None of those places.
So what is he saying?
Muslim population.
So what is he saying here?
Oh my God, dude! Seriously, you want him to ban Muslims? He'll do it for you.
I've never
I'll ban the Muslims for you, Bubba. I got no problem. I'm not Muslim. Your audience couldn't even listen to the caller before, the Angry Patriot guy, tell you 5 times he was Christian.
Let me just
keep wanting to put him as Muslim.
Just for clarity, maybe I'm hearing this wrong. Let me hear this again. Maybe you right and I'm wrong.
Yeah, play it.
Donald J. Trump is calling.
I can't hear it. You're talking over it. I can't hear it. You're talking over it. Let me make sure
Let's move along.
No, that's not. No, let's not move along. Let me hear it again, because maybe you're right and I'm wrong. Maybe he names countries.
I am definitely right.
Okay, let me hear it.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives.
We can't hear shit because you talking. I'm not turning it off.
I want you to play more of it. I want you to play the minute before that. Play the minute before that.
There is no minute before that.
Well, you edited it out.
I'm playing the
speech that way.
Oh my God.
He didn't start the speech that way. Play the first minute. You can't do that and still maintain your bullshit. Now play the minute before that.
This is a quick clip. There is no minute before that.
Quick clip. You had to edit that shit.
There is no. I didn't edit it out. Oh my God.
Knock it off.
So
now, let's talk about
wait. Hold on. If he only names. If he.
Some things I want to talk to.
Okay, well you got to let me talk too. If he only names certain countries, then why would he say a complete ban? He used the word complete. That's not complete.
Yes, you're right. He did. He said a complete ban from those countries.
He didn't say no from those countries. That didn't happen.
I'm reading it right here. I'm reading what he did. Do you want to know what he did, or do you want to know what you edited him to say?
Okay.
Are you more interested in what he said? Because you got him. It's a gotcha. Or you want to know what he did as your president? What do you want?
I want to know what he said. He didn't do it because the Supreme Court stopped him.
But then why would you edit it if you wanted to know what he said? Why did you edit the minute before that? If you really wanted to know what the man said, play the whole thing.
This is wait, hold on. This is a Sky News clip. I didn't edit shit. It's on YouTube. I didn't edit anything.
Someone did it for you to get y'all bent out of shape about a Muslim ban.
Okay, let me say this. If he said exactly what you said, I want to hear it. I don't want to read it. I want to hear it.
No, because you can't. I'll read it to you.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I'll play an actual video of him saying it to your face, and this is edit. You can't trust this. But what you're reading is trustworthy. Can't trust what the man is actually saying.
Came out of the White House. What he said. That's what I'm reading.
I can't.
I'm reading what actually came of it.
Here's what's funny. We can't trust what's actually coming out of his mouth, but we can trust what's written down in words.
No, you edited what came out of his mouth. You edited it.
I didn't edit shit.
We can't trust you. What we can trust is what is the executive order that he signed.
Okay.
That'd be a hell of a thing. What did he?
I ain't never sign. The guy. Well,
you just ignore it.
As I just stated.
Your big ass forehead, and you just ignore it.
As I just clearly stated, the reason he only banned certain countries is because the Supreme Court stopped his total Muslim ban.
No.
Yes. They stopped him.
100% that didn't.
That did happen.
All right. Listen, I'm gonna go with you to Delulu Land. Okay, you're here, I'm here. I got you. Can we talk about Gallup poll or not?
I'm scared after what you just did with that shit. What you got? What you got?
You ought to be, dude. You ought to be. 90 years Gallup has been running the presidential approval ratings, right? 90 years they've been running it. Why do you think they would stop doing it now? Before the midterms? Why don't you walk down this path with me? Why would a Gallup poll, why would the Gallup people stop running that poll before the midterms? That important.
Last time I walked down the path with you, I fell and broke my ankle. They stopped it because it's giving bad news to Trump.
No, it's giving bad news to you.
Oh, my God.
And you don't want to hear it. No, hey, listen, hold on. Listen, hear me out. At least hear me out. If the Gallup poll, if the presidential polls were bad, you'd want to know it, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you want that to help feed you and keep you on track to have a great midterm?
That's happening. Hold on, wait a minute. That's already happening, Straight Talk. Is there any hold on? Is there any poll right now that is predicting Trump will win the midterms?
They haven't quit yet.
No, I'm asking you, is there, out of all of the polls out there, is there any of them that suggest he's leading going into the midterms right now?
Let me answer your question, okay? Because when you went to bed, you put your head on the pillow, you went and voted, and you woke up the next morning, who did you think was going to win the election? When you went to vote, who did you think was going to win the national presidential election?
That's the answer to what I just asked you? That's the answer?
Yes, I am answering the question, but you got to ask. I want to ask a question first.
I don't remember.
You thought Miss Harris was going to win.
No, hold on. That's bullshit. That is bullshit, and I'll tell you why it's bullshit. Hold on, before you complete that bullshit. And it's on YouTube. Not only can I state this, I can prove it because all my lives are on YouTube. Let me get it out. I know you listen, let me get it out. I might have constipation, but let me get this turd out. I did a 7-hour live on election night. I didn't go to bed until the election was called. So I didn't go to sleep and then wonder. I did a 7-hour live that night on election night when Kamala Harris lost. And I was one of the people calling it like she's about to lose this. I was calling it as they were coming in.
Yeah. No, I'm saying, but when the election started, but you listen, you may be right, and I will go back and I will check on that. You can
just check. It's on my page. It's on my YouTube page.
I am sure that you are honest enough because it's right there. You're right. It's right there. I can go and take a look at that. But most of the people on your side of the aisle did not believe that. They believed that Miss Harris had this in the bag.
So what does it got to do with my question?
Gnashing of teeth.
What does it got to do with my question?
Because the polls were wrong. The polls have been telling you what you want to hear, and Gallup wanted to tell you what you want to hear, but they can't.
That ain't none of that shit got anything to do with the question I asked you. I asked you.
100%.
Okay, let me ask it again, because what you're saying don't have it.
Okay,
I asked you, are there any polls right now that suggest Trump is doing favorably going into the midterms?
No one is publishing a poll that says that the president is going to win in the midterms. The midterms are going his way, and people like what the president is doing.
All of that.
There are no polls that I'm aware of. There are no polls that I am aware of that are saying that the country likes the direction that the country is going in, except when you watch CNN.
So in other words, right now, President Trump, in terms of who's likely to win in the midterms, he is losing in every poll.
Yes. Yeah. Not every poll, but what I'm saying is CNN is the only place where I see that they are saying how bad this is going to be for Democrats. CNN, if you watch CNN, the gentleman that they have on there, he takes Rasmussen, he takes some of the other polls, puts it all together, and he makes it very clear y'all are going to be disappointed come midterm.
How does that make sense? If all of the polls are saying that Trump is not going to do well, one dude is somehow...
He's honest, because he takes...
He's honest, sir. Everybody else is lying. There's one dude on CNN, he's suddenly honest.
Okay, let me tell you why. Because you believe going into the election that Miss Harris was going to win.
What the fuck?
Same thing with Miss Clinton. Again, no. What you said was, as the night progressed, you told everybody that Harris was going to lose, and you were right. She lost big.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, going into, and maybe not you, I'll exclude you. If you want to be excluded, I'll exclude you, no problem. You are the only liberal, as handsome as you are, the only liberal that believed that Kamala Harris was not going to win the presidential election.
I don't know why.
Meanwhile...
I don't know why you're bringing up Hillary. Let me just say this. One event doesn't have anything to do with the other. Just because the polls are wrong. Well, just because the poll, no. So you're saying because the polls are wrong on Hillary and on Kamala, that means they're always going to be wrong.
No.
Then why are you bringing it up?
Because the polls they're not just wrong, they're lying to you. They are actively lying to you.
Okay. Based on what information? Based on what information? What makes you say they're lying?
Because the way that they use those polls is to make people on the right disappointed and dejected and not wanting to go to the polls. So they use it as a form of voter suppression, and they use it on the left to make you think that you're right and you're on the winning team and that everything is going to be great, so you'll keep watching and be engaged.
No, because I asked you, hold on, I asked you, is there any polls there are conservative polls. The conservative polls ain't going to do to the right what you're talking about. Even they say he's losing.
Yes, they are.
So even the conservative polls, everybody's working for the left, even the conservatives, huh?
Nope. Here's why the polls on the right do it, to keep the right engaged. So and by the way, there's very few right polls. There's very few polls. We don't poll. We already know what we're gonna do. We don't need to look at any polls. That's why we always beat the polls.
You don't always beat the polls. You don't always beat the polls. That ain't true.
God, yes, we do.
No, you don't.
Of course we do. That's why y'all cheat so damn bad.
Right.
That's why y'all have to cheat so freaking bad all the time. The only way you win elections is by cheating them. We are seeing that firsthand. It's playing out right in front of your face. Stop with your lying.
Yes, says the Find Me 11,000 Votes crew, huh? The Democrats are the ones doing all the cheating.
Come to find out, there were 6 boxes of votes he could have asked for.
That don't mean they were going to be for him. That don't mean those votes are going to be in his favor.
Yes, they're the ones that got shoved under the table in the videos.
And is it possible the ones that got shoved under the table could be for Democrats?
Why would you shove them under the table?
Maybe
if you're in Atlanta, Georgia, and that's a very big hotbed.
Yeah, but you can't
Hillary, a big hotbed for Biden, a big hotbed for Kamala Harris. They're not shoving one of those votes under not even one.
Maybe they view Atlanta as so blue. We don't even need to waste our time counting this shit. I'm ready to go home. Why do they gotta be conservative? Maybe those were blue votes too.
Well, I don't listen. I can't speak to why you.
That's what you're doing. That is what you already are speaking to it.
I'm saying that you're cheating elections. I can't really prescribe a reason for it, except that you just love.
It ain't about prescribing. You can't prove the shit you saying. You can't prove they cheating in elections.
Hey, I need you to take a seat, get you some popcorn, and watch what's coming. You think this is over? It ain't over, buddy. It is not over.
Okay.
You're about to have some your handsome liberal is going to be the crying liberal soon. You're going to be upset.
I'll be looking forward to talking to you when that bullshit don't happen. I gotta go because the sun is setting on me. I got about.
You look like you're cold.
Yeah, I got about 5 miles of bike riding ahead of me. I gotta get out of here. But
go put some lotion on.
The fuck out of here. The fuck out of here. Go. Get lost. Thank you folks for tuning in. I appreciate the hat and mustache and the support of the program. I may be on later on tonight. You guys take care for now. I got